Hey everybody, Raina Odell here. I was asked to be on a call, but I thought I could do a video instead just because time-wise it wasn't going to work out. But I'm excited to chat with you guys. I was told to talk to you guys about leadership, kind of about where I started, what leadership meant to me, what that looked like. So I'm going to kind of dig in just to some information to kind of help hopefully get you guys confident as new up-and-coming leaders. I know when I started coaching, I was like, I am the furthest thing from being a leader, but it was something I kind of, that phrase, fake it till you make it, it was something I kind of just did and acted like I was awesome at, and then over time, as my team started to grow, it was something that just got a little easier and came more natural. So still to this day, when people say, Raina Odell, leader, it seems weird to me, and I'm like, that's not me, like that's not who I am. But again, it just kind of happens naturally. So I don't know if a lot of you know my story. I'll touch on it very, very, very minimally and try not to spend forever on it because my story is very long and in-depth. So I started as a coach in April 2013. So I've been a coach for just over 3 years. My story pretty much starts back to when I graduated high school, literally. I started going to college. I met my now husband, Brett, about a month after high school. I started college and I went for like a semester, and then I found out I was pregnant. Oh yeah, awesome story. So we jumped in, had a baby, got married because it was the right thing to do, had another baby. So we have 2 daughters now. Mackenzie is 10 and Ella is 8. And we've been now married for it'll be 10 years this coming year, and together for 11 years. So long time. But Brett struggled with drugs and alcohol, also infidelity. I then developed many eating disorders. I was depressed. I was just a mess, as you can imagine. Fast forward about 6 years, I filed for divorce. I'm going through this very quickly, so it may seem like I have no emotion, and it's not a very emotional story, but it is, and I'm just doing this for the sake of time. I'm like, we got divorced? No, we got divorced. I moved out. Luckily, at that point, he hit a rock bottom, rededicated his life to Christ. We then renewed our vows, and God just completely transformed our marriage and our life in general. Okay, so after that happened, I looked down and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy in my marriage, but then I was stuck with this body that I'd abused for 6 years with eating disorders and bulimia and all kinds of different things. And so I started going to the gym, I started eating a little healthier, things like that. I stumbled across this website called MyFitnessPal, this app. I was obsessed with it. And I had seen people posting a little bit about this magic shake called Shakeology. And so I posted on MyFitnessPal and I said, hey, I'm looking to try Shakeology. Anybody know of any coaches? Random friend who is now a customer of mine mentioned that she knew a person named Leslie Cortez, that she followed her, real fit housewife on Facebook and on social media. And so I added her as a friend, said, hey, you know what, I want to try some Shakeology. She messaged me back, talked to me, informed me. This is where I really learned how to talk to people and how to have those conversations, is by what my upline did to me. And found out a little bit about me, about what my goals were, what I was doing now. Told her I was just getting into health and fitness. I had just joined a gym, started eating healthier, things like that. And she goes, girl, have you ever thought about coaching? And I was like, me? No, I haven't ever thought about coaching, but I'd love more information on it. And so she kind of told me a little bit about what she did, about what coaches do and things like that. And I was in 110% in. I was like, it was literally like God hit me and it was like, this is what I need to be doing all the time, okay? So I jumped in. I was very skeptical, obviously. My husband was very skeptical, of course. Hey, Brett, do you mind shutting the door really fast? Thank you. Real life happens here. So I was very skeptical. I jumped in. I immediately asked my upline, okay, what does it take to be successful? What do I have to do to actually earn an income and build an income? We were a single family income because I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. I did a little bit of work on Etsy, making scarves and stuff like that. But it was, it was very time-consuming, but it wasn't bringing in a ton of income. So she told me the very few steps that we usually tell every new coach, right? She was like, hit Success Club. And I was like, all right, I can hit Success Club. She's like, rank advanced. And I was like, I can do that too. And that was it. Hit Success Club and rank advanced. I was like, all right, I can do that. So that was ingrained in my memory and in my head very, very early on as a coach, that success equaled Success Club and rank advancement, okay? stuck with me. So it was my intention to do that very thing. I hit Emerald rank in 4 days. Mom, husband, right? Emerald! I hit Emerald rank very quickly. I hit Diamond in 63 days, okay? That's what took a little bit of work, right? Hitting Diamond that fast, I literally just had to break everything down. I had to say, okay, what is my goal? My goal is Diamond. My goal is 8 coaches in each leg, 8 coaches total, 4 coaches in each leg, and 2 Emeralds. So I immediately thought of my husband. My husband is an easy person I can get to Emerald because that is, he's in the house with me. He knows a lot of people that are into health and fitness. That's an easy one. My other goal was finding someone else that had any passion for health and fitness. So that's what I was on the hunt for. I immediately messaged everyone in my inbox, everyone in my contact list on Facebook, everyone in my contact list on my phone. I literally went through and I scrolled through names, and anyone that I knew that had anything to do with health and fitness, I messaged them. Whether they were runners, whether they did a 5K with me once last year, or whether they were ate paleo or Whole30 or whatever the case may be, I messaged them. And I said, hey, I just started as a Beachbody coach. I don't know if you've heard of Beachbody before, but we're basically setting people up with workouts and meal plans and things like that to do from home. I'd love for you to join me for some extra accountability. I really think you'd be great at it. And then I just started the conversation and talked to them. Conversations, I think, are the hard part in this business. I think that's where most people get really, stalled and held back is in their conversations. I feel like, people overthink it. It's not like you're talking on the phone, right? You're on social media, so you have to kind of slow things down and you have to keep their interest. It's not like, being on the phone where you can give them 30 minutes of your spiel and then be done with it. You kind of have to have that elevator speech ready, right? So really dug into the conversation, and I was me, and I was just honest, and I told them what I was doing and told them why I wanted them to be a part of it and why I, legitimately thought they would be great at it. Half of them said no. 20, another 25% said, okay, maybe, what's this about? Another 25% already knew what Beachbody was and wanted in, okay? So right there in my first month, I had formed my first challenge group. I had probably 10 people in my first challenge group. No, that's a lie. I hit Success Club 12 in my first month, so I had 6 people in my first challenge group. 6 people in my first challenge group. All of them I had sign up as a coach because who doesn't want a discount, right, while you're doing your health and fitness thing? That's a no-brainer. So they all signed up as coaches. They all had the discounts. They all got their workouts, and they all started to do this process with me. I was intentional about approaching this as, join me for some extra accountability versus I'm going to coach you because I'm new to it too. How are they supposed to build trust with me if I'm brand new and I'm, trying to get them to be coached by me and things like that. So I use the approach of do this with me for accountability, okay? But I want to touch now a little bit on, so I was a diamond for 9 months in the business, 9 months in the business. What happened when I was diamond, and even before I was diamond, but I fought through it a little bit, is I started going into management mode. I would, focus on those 12 coaches that I had at the time, and I would beat, Success Club into them and beat posting into them and beat, doing the workout every single day and things like that. And I was trying to build success for them myself when it really had to come from them. I was draining myself. I was hand-holding people who really didn't want it as much as I wanted it for them, okay? So at that point, I really had to have this come to Jesus moment where I was like, things aren't working. This is not happening. This is not going how I wanted it to go, and what am I doing that's not moving me forward? And it was really just having that feeling of dragging people, okay? So at that moment, cut the cord, right? I'm done. This moment, going forward, it was my goal to just recruit more people, to really have my mindset on, okay, who am I attracting? Who do I want on my team? What does that look like? What does my coaching style look like? How am I going to train them? How am I going to find people who just get it, okay? And I think that's like the mystery of this business. Like, how do we find people who just get it? So for me, I really had to focus now on what we call attraction marketing, right? I had to, at this point, kind of stop doing all the, Shakeology, workout, I'm doing P90X type pictures, and I had to focus more on the lifestyle and what coaching has brought me as a person in my business, right? I had to focus more on the, I'm out with my kids on their field trip for the first time in a long time, and financially I'm not having to worry about groceries or about gas. I mean, I remember when I had to call Brett and ask him for $5 to get gas. Like, hey, can I put $5 in the tank right now? And he's like, how about 4? Like, I literally remember talking about that. And so sharing moments like that were so important. And you guys, me talking about a 15-star bonus deposited into my account is a lot less inspiring than someone who is a single family income paying for a tank of gas. You will relate to people more with that story than I would with my story. That's a fact. Think of all the people that are following you now. Most of them are, not broke, but most of them are probably not, super wealthy. Most of them probably are paycheck to paycheck. Who isn't paycheck to paycheck? And that's what you're going to be able to talk to. You're going to be able to attract those people who need what you have right in that moment. And those are the people that you want to work with, okay? So traction marketing. I had to talk more about what the business was, what my goals were in the business, what it looks like in, moving forward in this business and things like that, okay? I challenge you guys to really figure out who your avatar is. Who is it that you're actually talking to and promoting? For me, I had to take a step back and I'm like, okay, I am a mom. I have tattoos. I have a weird shaped head. I have multi-poo puppies. I am a stay-at-home mom. Did I already say that? Yeah, I have multiple puppies. I am in Southern California. I wrote down all these different things. So at that point, I could go to Facebook and type in the search, stay-at-home mom. Or I'm in a group that's called Stay-at-home Moms with Tattoos. Or multi-poo. Or, dog lover. Or knitter. Or basketball fan. Or, there's so many different options of groups that you're able to join. And those are the groups that I joined. I would join any and every group I can. And at that moment, I didn't necessarily participate a lot in the group. I would if something sparked my interest, but I was going through those lists of members in that group, and I would look at the profile pictures. Does that look like somebody Raina would be best friends with? Yes, add. Does that look like somebody Raina would be best friends with? Probably not. Move on. And then on to the next and on to the next. I would literally go down the members, page and add people who looked like they would get along with me, like they were in my demographic and who were in my target audience. Because what that does is when I accept them as a friend, we instantly have that common ground of puppies or tattoos or being a stay-at-home mom or something like that to spark conversation with, okay? That's a huge, huge, huge tip as far as how to find who you're targeting, okay? Write down who your perfect avatar is, what your perfect person looks like, you, because that's what you want, a driven person just like you, and those are the people that you're going to try to connect with. Those things also, so if you go to my Instagram, I have at the top of my Instagram, I have like my top things about me, right? So at the top of my Instagram, it has stay-at-home mom turned CEO, fitness lover, foodie, graphic t-shirt hoarder, and San Diego, okay? Those are like the 5 main things that describe me. So those 5 things are what I'm going to focus on and post about on my social media, okay? So every time I make a post, I have to think, I'm like, does it have to do with me being an entrepreneur or having this life of freedom? Does it have to do with me being a fitness lover or a foodie? Or does it have to do with my fun t-shirts or San Diego and its gorgeousness? If it doesn't, probably not going to post it because it's not going to do my page any good. So that is a guide that I use on my Instagram, for example. I use it on everything else too, of what to post and who's going to be attracted to my page. So I can post those things and know that people are going to be interested in them because they have been before. There you go. So I'm like going all over the place. Next thing I want to talk about is who you're actually coaching. So we have a lot of people that are, as a new coach, you're kind of like, I'll take you and I'll take you and I'll take you. And we're not really handpicking people. We're not being very picky in the way we recruit, right? So what our team has done is we've implemented our gem test, the Danny Johnson gem test. So you have ruby, sapphire, pearl, and emerald. So every time I send a coach, I send them that gem test and I say, hey, complete this test. It is time consuming. Take 30 minutes out of your day, complete this, send it back to me. It's really gonna help me understand how to train you best, okay? So they send the gem test back to me with whatever they are. If they're a ruby or a sapphire, I'm like, right? Because that's like They're motivated by fun. Rubies are motivated by income. So then instantly, I'm a Ruby Sapphire if you can't tell. Then instantly, I am able to connect with them and say, hey, girl, we have a trip to Punta Cana that you can still earn. Do you want to do this or not? And they're like, oh, yeah, like, right? So you have something instantly that you're able to motivate them by. Pearls are going to be a little different. They're going to be motivated first and foremost by just helping people. So maybe helping them get set up with a free group that they can start running to start bringing people in. Emeralds, they want to know everything before they get started. So you are able to throw all the training you can at them to help them get started the best way they can, okay? So you just kind of have to understand what personalities you're working with. It's very hard to not understand what a person's personality is. For instance, having a coach that's a pearl and you don't know they're a pearl and you're like, girl, why aren't you doing this? You can make so much money. And they're like, I don't really care. Like, that's not what motivates me. So I challenge you guys to take a look at that gym test. You can Google it. There's lots of different resources and stuff like that to find information on it, but it'll really help you understand who you're actually working with and who you can push and who you can't push, if that makes sense, okay? For us, we have a team training website, so I send my coaches a new coach email saying, yo, welcome to the team, what's up, like da-da-da-da, here's your gym test, let me know what gym you are, and then when you're done with the gym test, here's our link to our team training website. But that's where they get to kind of dig into their gym and find out exactly, so a Ruby, I can go ahead and start with, here's how to earn an income. Sapphires, I can say, here's how to earn a trip to Punta Cana. Emeralds, I can say, here you go, right? Pearls, I can be like, here's how to run a free group. So find a way to plug them into training that works for their specific personality, okay? You are on an amazing team. I guarantee you have a ton of training resources and things like that to help set people up and get them set up strong. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, right? Use the resources that you have right now to develop your team. But if you're signing coaches and you're just trying to do it on your own and you're trying to reinvent the wheel and things aren't working, go back to basics, right? Share about Success Club. Share about rank advancement. Those two things are what will really, really, really drive success in this business. If you're a coach who still struggles with Success Club, that's where I would focus first and foremost. You cannot not hit Success Club and be a diamond coach. Success Club is a must from day one. Another little trick I use, every Success Club points equals a coach, okay? So if I end the month with 20 Success Club points, you better believe I'm gonna have 10 coaches to show for it, okay? Whether it's for the discount or not, everyone I sign is in as a coach, okay? Pitch it to people. Most people are like, save 25%? Yeah, like sign me up, right? So make sure you use that, okay? Identify straight out the gate if you have people who want to be a discount coach, a hobby coach, or a runner. If you have those runners, throw all of the information at them, right? Hobby coaches probably might hit Success Club, every now and then, give them the attention they need. But your energy needs to be focused on that 80 or that 20% that's giving you 80% of your business, right? Your most energy needs to go with the top 20% of your team. If you don't have a top 20% yet, keep recruiting, okay? Keep going. I remember after I was about, I was a diamond, right before I hit 1 star, I had a call with corporate and I kind of shared my goals. I was striving for top 10 that year, but here I was a diamond coach. Come on. This is Dexter. Here I was a diamond coach. So I'm like, oh my gosh, is this even realistic? And I remember talking to corporate and they said, okay, for top 10, you need to be recruiting at least 15 coaches a month and you need to have about 20 to 30 of those coaches in Success Club every single month. And I was like, count me out. Not gonna happen, not for me. And you know what? My husband sat me down and he was like, Raina, that's totally possible. Like right now you're recruiting maybe 5 people a month, 10 people a month, maybe, like if that. Like it was more like 5 to 8 people a month that I was recruiting as a diamond coach. But you know how quickly they go, right? People lose rank and go inactive and things like that. So I was kind of just like barely staying afloat as a diamond. It wasn't until my husband was like, what is the gap? What are you doing now and not doing that's going to, jump you forward? What could you be doing more? And it was a flat answer, straight up answer. I need to be talking to more people. And that's just it. This business is a numbers game. As soon as I stepped that up and had that mindset of I need to talk to as many people as I can, I went from 1 star in April 2014. I hit 1 star and I ended the year at 12 star. 1 to 12 star in a year, less than a year. I also ended that year at number 20 in the company. okay? I didn't hit top 10 like my goal was. I hit top 10 the next year. But that first year, that huge accomplishment of having that huge rank jump, and then also, you know, ending at number 20, which was a huge thing for us, I was very pleased with that. So I couldn't complain. But I just want to end with, you know, duplication. That's it. You were in this group for a reason. You've shown up. You've shown some success. Now it's time to find those people who want a taste of the success just like you do, and it's time to duplicate that. Teach them that, okay? You started with the rule of 3 probably, right? To help 3 people a month. That equals Success Club 6. I challenge you to give your coaches that rule of 3. Let's do 3 people. Teach them to give their coaches the rule of 3. 3 people. And then them. And then their coaches. And then their coaches. And on and on and on. And pretty soon, you're going to have a team of amazing rock stars who know the value of Success Club, who know the value of running challenge groups and running training groups and things like that, and who are ready to run, okay? I really hope this video helped. If it didn't, I'm sorry. But I'd be happy to answer any other questions you guys have. I'm sure you can comment below and they will be relayed to me, all right? Have a great day, everybody. Bye.